Coming back to the studio and to the here and now, we have a very special guest. We have a poet and playwright, Mr. Kotiganahalli Ramaiah, a prominent figure in Karnataka, India. Mr. Ramaiah is renowned for his commitment to social justice, for giving voice to the voiceless, and putting the spotlight on India's caste system. Mr. Ramaiah is also one of the founders of ADIMA, an institution that focuses on children's theater, film, education, and caste consciousness. Kotiganahalli Ramaiah, sir, thank you for coming to this program.
Thank you, Audrey's.
The words and images you paint in your poems are unlike most one comes upon. Reading your poems, one sees the gutter, the sewer, the sewage, and the feet in a compassionate new light. I'll just read a short excerpt from one of your poems, Mahanagari Footpath, which I believe is the footpath of the great city. You say, only sometimes do the sewers flood in rage. Mostly they flood quietly, as through nothing has ever happened, pure, transparent, like the glaze of granite. Why are these elements, the sewage, the feet, the gutter, so prominent in your work?
Neglect, centuries neglect. Because of centuries neglect we experienced in India. That is the discriminative pattern in India. It's called caste system.
Explain to us. Many people here
Actually,
might not be listening to it or know the caste system. Can you explain that in a few words?
Yeah, without experience, and no one can understand what caste system exactly, how it works. So by birth, your destiny will be sealed. Born into a lower caste or being an untouchable, you will be recognized through caste only, by birth only. So entire his life, you can't come out of that. So Baba Sahib Ambedkar, messiah of these untouchables, has said that, it is a staircase-less compartment. It's a pyramid, no staircase to go up. Chamber, 4 chambers are there. The top will be a Brahmin, next to him a Kshatriya, next to him Shudra, untouchables are the bottom. So they can't go up, upward mobility has been totally sealed. No one can go up and liberate themselves. This is the, means religiously sanctioned discrimination, you can call it. Religion has, sanctioned it. Religion says that it is the right. One should be like this. So this is the caste system. And, untouchables, even today, they are not allowed to, touch water. They don't have access to water and worshipping places and also public places. Even psychologically also, violence is perpetuated violence, every day, every minute, they undergo this kind of, violence. It is lynching, burning, raping, killing. They, without these kind of, things, never set the sun. That is the situation in India even today.
And so through your work, your poetry, your playwright, are you aiming to reach out to Dalits, or is it other people that are doing the oppression in the caste system? How do you reach out to them, and who do you...
I'm basically a writer, playwright, and also an activist. I was into the, liberating process since 40 years. We had a great organization called Dalita Sangharsha Samiti. It, waged a lot of, series of battles against these kind of discriminations. So it's all going on like that. So consciousness, to build consciousness through my words and through my writings, I'm taking it as a very missionary work, like, to make them aware first, because it is first thing is to be, consciousness to be, brought into these kind of, sections. That was my aim of writing.
And you're also one of the founders of ADIMA, this institution. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Because, we thought, the political resistances, I came to know that, it's much more to be done to this dimension. The cultural dimension is more important, because liberation is very cultural liberation. Identity should be a very cultural identity. So we started an organization called Adima to make this daily kind of experimentations and other things. Mostly I'm working with children, theater, songs. Almost I write as a songwriter, I entered into that. Before that I was writing poetry very long back. I left writing poetry. So I started to write songs. Songs are the most important weapons to, you need not have a, it travels like anything. It goes beyond a song. So I thought song is the best medium to communicate. I chosen songwriting first. I have written nearly hundreds of songs. Later I thought, see, I have to do the other forms also. Then I turned into a playwright and also a poet.
And here in Nyeleni, because we're in this forum, why would you say is the fight of the Dalits in your press cast so important in a debate about food sovereignty?
See, say in India, quarter population has been denied human rights. That's the most important thing, and also violence, everyday violence. So nobody speaks about that because what caste makes, it's both victims, even victimized and also those we victimize them, both are consciencelessness. They don't have any conscience about that. They don't speak about the violence. Nothing happens to them. They speak about Palestine, they speak about many other violences around the world, but nobody speaks about, the very important thing to be noticed, so unnoticed. So I remember that, see in Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude, the plague of eye, that episode you might be knowing, the plague will come to their through eyes, and the whole community forgets its memories and everything. He can't recognize the kith and kin of his own. So here also in India, this caste is a plague of mind. Indian diaspora, wherever go to the world, they carry this, discriminative seeds, and they practice it. You might be knowing, very recently in Seattle, they brought a law to prohibit untouchability. But the Indian diaspora, the Hindu or the Brahmin, what we call them, they protested against that. It is the, onslaught on their religion or something that they said. So in their, psyche and their DNA, this discrimination is rooted like.
So you would say that the caste system in itself undermines the unity of the food sovereignty movement in India?
Food security, forget about the, food, water, or whatever may be the basic accessibilities, they have been totally denied. Even after Constitution has been, enforced in India, 70 years over. So nothing has changed drastically.
Um, one thing that that stands out for me too is the importance that you take of art as a tool to speak out against these injustices. In Karnataka, is there a collective that has been set up of different artists to work on this caste system, or who do you count as maybe as allies in this struggle?
Maybe many people have joined us, against this kind of, fight. Many people, those that are not, untouchables or even Dalits. Everybody, they will support it as, solidarity kind of thing. Rise Sangha and many other organizations, even left-oriented organizations, they are with us, like, to support this kind of, fight against caste system.
And I understand we wanted to share a poem by Mr. Ramaiah. Maybe we have two guests here with us. Also, they come from Karnataka. Hagana, yes, Meghana, and Ankush. They're two comrades from Karnataka, Bangalore. And in just a few minutes, we're going to get the mic set up. And we're going to share a short poem.
Yeah, this is a song which is written by Kotiganahalli Ramaiah sir, and I'll be singing around 4 lines of it. Sharanaya Sharanu, Sharanaya Sharanu, Sharanaya Sharanu, Sharanaya Sharanu, 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 Sharanaya Sharanu, 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 Sharanaya Sharanu. ಊರೂರಿಗೊಂದೊಂದು ಕೆರೆ ಕಟ್ಟೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ, ಕಟ್ಟೆಯ ಮ್ಯಾಲೊಂದು ಹತ್ತಿಯ ಮರ ನೆಟ್ಟ. ಊರೂರಿಗೊಂದೊಂದು ಕೆರೆ ಕಟ್ಟೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ, ಕಟ್ಟೆಯ ಮ್ಯಾಲೊಂದು ಹತ್ತಿಯ ಮರ ನೆಟ್ಟ. ಹಿರಿಯರ ಪಾದಕ್ಕೆ ಶರಣು, ಅವರ ನೆರಳಂತ ನೆನಪಿಗೆ ಶರಣು. ಹಿರಿಯರ ಪಾದಕ್ಕೆ ಶರಣು, ಅವರ ನೆರಳಂತ ನೆನಪಿಗೆ ಶರಣು. ಶರಣಯ್ಯ ಶರಣು, ಶರಣಯ್ಯ ಶರಣು, ಶರಣಯ್ಯ ಶರಣು, ಶರಣಯ್ಯ ಶರಣು, ಶರಣು ಶರಣು, ಶರಣಯ್ಯ ಶರಣು, ಶರಣು ಶರಣು, ಶರಣಯ್ಯ ಶರಣು. Thank you.
Beautiful, very moving. Can you share a few things about what it meant? It's in Kannada language, right? Can one of you maybe translate a little bit what the song was about?
This song majorly speaks about the indigenous people, indigenous knowledge, and people like youngsters like us. We are we should show our gratitude for all the knowledge that we have got from them. And also the remaining part of the song, it's a big song, and where Ramaiah sir mentions about different communities and what are the knowledge that they have shared for us. And basically we are expressing a gratitude, honor for them. Yeah.
Very beautiful. And if somebody wants to learn more about the struggle of the Dalits and the caste system, I know B.R. Ambedkar is a big reference in India, right? What else would you suggest to learn more about this? Because I know even among the left in India, it's an issue that is shut off. No, people don't speak about it. What would you recommend to people that want to learn more about the caste system and its impact?
Yeah, I would think, like as Ramaiah sir mentioned, many of the movements, we find them as allies. For example, he mentioned even left movement are allies for us. But I also do think that the left movement in India has to consider caste as a major problem. And most of the times, left movements in India recognize economic justice, but they do not speak about the social justice. It is very important for our allies to know the importance of caste discrimination, understand it properly, and I really who come from the so-called lower caste, who go to premium institutes for their studies. I think this is a very major problem, and when they go to premium institutes to study, they face a lot of discrimination. Because of which many of our youngsters are committing suicide. And we would not like to call it suicide because it is institutional murder. And this is happening because they come from a certain background, they come from a certain caste. We would also like to mention that the suicides, what we call institutional murders, are also happening because of the stress and discrimination that they have faced from their childhood. Yeah, I do think so.
And a question about the current context in India with the BJP government and the far-right government by Modi. The fact that in the last elections, they lost a little bit of support, does that open for a stronger voice from those that are denouncing the caste system? Or has there not been any great impact of those voices?
Actually, what is happening now, the whole scenario has been changed after 1990, after this globalization and liberalization process. Now what is happening? India, republic country. It is called, Republic of India calls. Now it is, turning into caste republics now. Each caste has its own republic now. Entirely the opposite process. In our constitutional preamble, three things have been said, as a principle, like, see, paternity, equality, and equality, paternity, and liberty is the three things. Without equality, without brotherhood, you can't dream of equality and paternity. Liberty at all. So now, we can't expect that brotherhood now in India. So this is the greatest problem. And also the religious institutions and also the manipulations of the many, complex kind of, institutionalizations, like, this dharmika, kind of thing, has got a great, oppression now. It has begun now, that kind of oppression on us.
And from my understanding now in India, any type of criticism of society becomes a criticism of India as a country, right? There is little room for any type of critic. And also in a country where Hinduism has been tied so close to nationalism and Hinduism and being Indian, right? So, and I know in that category, Muslim voices, caste voices are shut down, right? Any political alliances at this moment in India for the for people of caste?
Expect such a thing now at this juncture. Maybe in future, it may happen.
Okay. Well, I think with those words, we want to thank you for this interview. Thank you for this opportunity and for sharing.
Read a poem.